everybody, my name is Rhonda German and I am a realtor here in Columbus, Georgia, and today is Real Estate Wisdom Wednesday. Today's topic is so you want to become a real estate agent. Stay tuned. Considered starting a new side hustle and thought about becoming a real estate agent. Being a realtor is great if you love helping people, but it's not always what people imagine it to be. It's not just as simple as going out and showing a house and posting on Facebook, hey, we're under contract. There's a lot of in between, and there's a lot of things that you have to handle. So I want to, I'm not going to get into all of those details today, but I am going to talk with you about how to become a real estate agent and some things that you need to consider before you start the process of becoming a real estate agent. Selling real estate is more work than you probably might imagine. And although there are some very successful real estate agents out here, there are also some real estate agents that struggle to make ends meet. So coming from someone in the business, I just want to let you know what it takes to become a real estate agent and what you should consider before starting down that path. Okay, the first thing is, do you have the time and do you have the cash to become licensed? The first thing you have to do if you want to sell houses or become a real estate agent is to get licensed. You need to take a 75-hour pre-licensing course in the state of Georgia. That can be online or that can be in class. I personally took my class through Columbus State University's continuing education program, and I attended class 2 nights a week for 4 hours. Now that was dedication and commitment, because not only am I a mother and a wife, I also work another full-time job, or I work a full-time job. So committing to class 2 nights a week for 4 hours, it was huge, but definitely worth the sacrifice. Some people focus better in class. Some people are able to handle online. Me personally, I need the accountability of being in class with other people and having an instructor to be able to explain to me versus just trying to read and understand myself. I will say this, real estate is an industry, or at least when you're taking this class, you need to truly understand the topics that you are given, okay? Because when you take that state exam, baby, they're going to make sure that you know it. Okay, so it's not as simple as taking, say, a college course like English or just whatever college course you take. You can't just skim through that information. You can't just get by on your test by memorizing vocabulary. You have to have an understanding. You have to be able to explain. You have to be able to pick out different scenarios and apply them to different situations. So you got to be dedicated. You got to be committed, and you're going to have to give some things up for a while you're studying for that test. Okay. And I'm just being completely honest with you. So if you know you like to party, you like to go out, you like to do all these social things, you're going to have to let that go for a minute, okay? Completely shut down and devote all your time to real estate. But enough of that. So there are also courses available online. The CE Shop, I believe. On Course Learning is another online course you can take. Barney Fletcher is a company in Atlanta, a real estate school actually. They offer online classes and they offer in-person classes. One of the things that I think they do is offer a 2-week course, 8 hours a day, for you to obtain that 75 hours in pre-licensing. So you just have to do whatever works for you. But I needed my class in person, so that's what I did. Once you finished your classes, you have to take a state licensing exam. The cost to take that licensing exam here in Georgia is $121. And that's for each time that you have to take that course. Y'all, I was in Facebook groups where people had me so scared because they were saying, hey, I took the test 2, 3, 4 times, even all the way up to 8 times. That's $121 a pop. So it scared me so much. I knew that I was not going to take my test as soon as I finished that exam. What I did was take a cram course. I took my cram course at Barney Fletcher. Highly recommended for you to take a cram course. It's a whole weekend. Mine was Saturday and Sunday, 8 hours each day, but it was well worth it. I studied my behind off. I had an accountability partner, my cousin / business bestie. We studied hard for about a month after we passed our class final exam for the pre-licensing before we went and took our state exam, and thank God we passed on the first try. But one thing I will say about us is we were committed to studying and learning and knowing this information before we even took the time to take the test. We also used a study guide or online study guide called the Prep Agent. He's really good. He has stuff for all 50 states as far as licensing, and I have to give credit there too. That also helped me with learning the information that I needed to know for the test. So after you finish the final exam, you take the state exam. It's $121. Once you pass the state exam, there's a application licensing fee that you have to pay in the amount of $170. All right. So before you invest the time that it takes and the money that it takes on a Realtor course, consider all these things. Okay. My course at Columbus State cost me $550. Where will you work? You will also need to determine where you're going to work once you pass your state licensing exam and once you've paid your application fee. You have to work under the supervision of a broker. And there are different brokers out there. There's small, like boutique brokers. And there's also well-known company names. And, everybody has their preferences. I started with a small company and now I'm with a well-known company. I appreciate everything that I learned at my first broker, and I think it really prepared me for where I am today. All right. Some agents like the mom and pops. Some agents like the big ones because they're more flexible about working from home and things like that. But make sure you interview at least 3 different brokerages before deciding what works best for you. Now, can you afford the startup expenses? I went over the expenses that are involved with becoming a real estate agent. You have your course fee. I think it is a little bit cheaper online though. But like I said, if that's your preference, go for it. You want to budget also expenses for advertising, startup expenses. When you're working under the umbrella of a broker, you are an independent contractor, but there are fees and different expenses that are involved with working under a brokerage. You may even end up paying out those fees without receiving a paycheck for a while. One thing about becoming a real estate agent, it is commission based. It's 100% commission based. So you may go 1 to 2 months. I'm sorry, guys. Maybe even 3-4 months without receiving a paycheck. It is common to go 8 9, 10, 11, 12 months without even receiving your first paycheck. But remember, you are paying those fees and expense, or you're paying your fees to a brokerage each month as you work under their supervision. All right. Also, how are your boundaries? Okay. One thing that I will say is a challenge when you're doing real estate on a part-time basis. Even if you're doing it on a full-time basis, if you have a family, you have to learn how to balance. Okay. So what are your balance? What are your balances? Do you have small children? Showing houses a lot of times is done in the evenings or it's done on the weekends. So there are some unusual hours that go with that territory. Real estate looks great as a side hustle for, for working parents. But remember, it's not uncommon that buyers may call you to see a property in a few hours notice. And I know you can set your boundaries to where maybe you don't want to show homes after a certain time, or maybe, you have your cutoff period. But right now we're in a seller's market, all right? And homes are flying off the shelf so quickly. Sometimes you have to adhere to the buyer and, take them out. As long as they can give you some notice, be prepared for that. And the biggest question is, how much money can I earn as a real estate agent? As I said before, it is commission-based only, okay? And commission-based jobs are, what do they say, feast or famine. You can and you will go months without getting a paycheck. So you'll need to learn how to budget your income. And one of the things that I do, and I highly recommend, is once you receive that lump sum payment, hey, pay your bills up a few months at a time. That way you don't have to worry when you're waiting on that next paycheck to hit. You don't have to worry about your bills, okay? Now, I won't go into the details of payment and all that stuff because every brokerage is different as far as percentages. But locally, a common percentage is 3% of the purchase price of the home, and you have a share that you have to pay to your broker. So you can do that math yourself. Another question, can I really sell real estate part-time? Yes, you can. I've done it for a year now. Although I won't say that it has been easy, because me personally, I feel like real estate cannot be a part-time job, especially if, your business does happen to take off. If you're working full-time and you're on another job and you're working part-time, you do not ever want to tell your clients that you can't assist them the same way that a full-time agent will. So what I mean by that is, it's going to be full-time for you, or I treat it just like a full-time business, because I don't want to give my clients any reason to think that I won't service them the same way as a full-time agent will. But here's my summary. Selling real estate part-time is good. It's a good way to get into the business, and I will remain part-time until I'm comfortable to step out there on a full-time basis. But it can be done. But staying full-time is a way to make sure you don't go broke while you're waiting to build your business. All right, so that's what I have for you guys today as far as how I became a real estate agent, how you can become a real estate agent, and the costs that are associated. If there are any questions that I did not answer in this video, make sure to leave a comment below, or you can contact me using the information down below, my email address, phone number, all of that. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to listen. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, and I hope you enjoy.